The Army Painter is my favorite hobby company in the entire world. My desk is literally full of Army Painter products, and it takes me from being an average painter to putting above tabletop standard models out into the tournament scene. Not only that, but the Army Painter has sponsored more competitive play than any other hobby company in the industry. They allow us to keep doing the things that we do. If you enjoy the Army Painter as much as I do, head over to thearmypainter.com where you can use the discount code ARTOFWAR5 to get a discount on your next order.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another super exciting Art of War stream. Today, we are talking about the greatest, meleeest faction in all of the land, the Vessels of Wrath World Eaters.
That's right, blood for the blood god. You can tell Nick is super excited. Nick loves World Eaters, notedly, and I also love World Eaters. Not as much as Nick, obviously, but I also appreciate the blessings of the blood god and Khorne and whatnot.
Yeah, Jack has been known to be a follower of chaos when it comes to hitting people in the face with large axes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That is what we're here to do.
Listen, you're afraid to be corny. I was born on the cob.
That was great.
It's
How long were you planning that?
a while, actually. I have the meme on. It's a meme on my phone. Yeah. So no, World Eaters, awesome army. I love World Eaters so much. They have a really, really good index detachment. So they had come out with a different one, a second one. Now you get 100% more detachments to mess around with. And this one seems pretty interesting, so I'm excited to get into it.
Awesome. Yeah, before we do that, though, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. It really helps us keep producing what we do. We're producing Warhammer content for you every single day in December. Games Workshop is releasing a Grotmas detachment, and we are reviewing World Eaters right now. And every single day, we're going to be live or recorded doing these videos for you. So make sure you subscribe so you can check out the content, and you can access more, where we actually play games with these armies in the War Room. You can get 50% off your first month with the promo code GROTMAS2024.
And that's all caps. And if it's going to be at theworm.vhx.tv, which is down in the description if that's a bit of a mouthful for you. All right, we got Vessels of Wrath. So this is based around Khorne empowering his worshippers to achieve heights of butchery that they might not be able to reach otherwise. So we got Wrath of Khorne as the detachment rule. At the start of the battle round, after you roll your Blood God dice and all of that, you can select one or more models from your army from those listed below. It's going to be characters that are not epic heroes. It's going to be any champion, so 8-bound champion, Exalted 8-bound champion, Khorne Berserker champion, and Terminator champion. And you can pick ones in transports, that's kind of new. And then you can select the same type of model multiple times, and you can pick up to 3 in a Strike Force battle. Each of those models has a Vessel of Wrath keyword, and then you pick a Blessing of Khorne that's not currently active for your army, and those units will get that Blessing of Khorne. So you will never miss Advance and Charge, because 3 of your units can always get access to it.
That's really cool. So basically, in a Strike Force 2,000 point battle, you're going to pick 3 of your units from most of your units, and then you're just going to give it the missing thing that you want, Advance and Charge, or if you already had that, maybe Sustained Hits, whatever. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile. So if you have Advance and Charge and you have the Feel No Pain, which is probably what you're going to pick if you roll Advance and Charge, you can give Sustained Hits to 3 units, which is enough for you to get the violence going. And if you don't roll Advance and Charge, or you only need it on a couple of units, you can take, Fight on Death or Sustained Hits or +2 move, and then get Advance and Charge on the 3 units you're going to use. It makes the army rule super reliable, which I really like.
And this is in place of +1 strength, +1 attack on charge, so you're going to be a little bit less hard hitting, but I'm sure we got stuff for that.
Yeah, significantly less hard hitting on the front end, but hopefully we're going to have some enhancements and strats to make that up on the back end.
Speaking of which, let's talk about these enhancements.
All right, we got Arch Slaughterer, 25 points, +1 AP to the bearer's melee weapons, and then while they're a Vessel of Wrath, which you can just make them, they get +1 damage.
Okay, that's pretty good. +1 AP, and then just choose to be +1 damage.
Yeah, so you can have a Demon Prince who has a sweep attack. That sweep attack gets pretty good.
Oh, 2 damage sweeps, that's awesome.
Yep, and +1 AP, because otherwise it's AP 0.
Yeah.
So Arch Slaughter is pretty good there. It's good on, just Master of Executions. As we've seen, you can just continually select him to be your Vessel of Wrath. And then he's always going to be +1 AP, +1 damage, and then they fight first. So you kind of have the Berserker Glaive guy if you want it. There's a lot of things you can put this on. It's super good.
The detachment seems more versatile than the last one. We're only 2 things in already, but I feel like it's a lot more flexible than just blanket +1 strength +1 attack.
Yeah. We definitely need some amount of bonus damage going on, but I imagine that will be down there in the stratagems.
Let's keep going. Vox Diabolus.
Yep, 20 points. Every time the bearer's unit destroys an enemy unit with a melee attack, you roll a die, adding 1 to the result. If the bearer is a vessel, on a 4-up, you gain a CP. This is not that great. The bearer has to be the one to kill the enemy unit. It's all right. You get a CP half the time.
Yeah, I hate when it's like, you have to do this thing and then roll a 4-up. It's like, all right, this is too much fun.
What are we doing? Yeah. Avenger's Crown. World Eater's model only if the bearer is destroyed by a melee attack. If it has not fought this phase on a 2-up, it fights on death.
That's really good. And it's only 15 points, which is awesome. Put that on a Master of Executions or something and just let him rip.
Yeah, so it's if it's not already fought, the Master of Execution says fight first. But you could put on a Juggernaut Lord. Those are your options basically, or you could put on a Demon Prince. Demon Prince fights on death in combat. It's not bad. It's not bad. Juggernaut Lord is a bit anemic in terms of damage without any kind of buffs. You could also give, by the way, the Juggernaut Lord. Actually, I didn't even mention it. The Juggernaut Lord was when I first read this. It was the first thing that popped out to me for Arch Slaughterer because he has an AP issue, but he has a lot of attacks. So because he has a mount. And he has his chainsword.
Yeah.
So he has a ton of attacks at like 6-1-2. And then with this would be 6-2-3. And that's way better. So I think that actually is really good for a Juggernaut Lord. Whereas the fight on death, Juggernaut Lord is AP1.
Like if you have 15 points and you're not taking a different enhancement, like that's how you take this. But I'm not prioritizing this at all.
And you have a character that you're taking. Like a main issue with World Leaders is that they don't take characters that aren't epic heroes.
Yeah.
And if you take a character, you're probably going to want to give it like Arch Slaughterer or something like that. Gateways to Glory, only 10 points. So you can just take it. It goes on a Juggernaut Lord or a Demon Prince. Every time they make a normal advance or charge move, it can move horizontally through models and terrain features. And when doing so, it can move within engage range of models, but cannot end a normal advance move within engage range. So you essentially gain super fly.
Demon Princes do really appreciate that.
They really do, especially with advance and charge. You just barrel straight through walls.
Yeah, I really like that on Demon Prince. Now, will you take like multiple Demon Princes? Because like you said, you probably want to give somebody Arch Slaughterer. I don't know, maybe not, but that's a great upgrade for our Demon Prince.
Yeah, you do have to want to take a Demon Prince, which is a significant hurdle, but it is only 10 points once you do, and that is definitely helpful.
Hey, this makes a Prince a lot better.
It does, and I believe there's some strats to make him better. Now, Princes did not go up or down in the MFM. So they are going to have to exist on the same spectrum that they existed before. Aspire to Infamy. In the fight phase, you pick a Berserker or Jackal unit that has not been selected to fight and is within 8 inches of one or more friendly World Eater characters. Until the end of the phase, improve strength and AP of weapons equipped by non-character models in your unit by 1.
Yeah, so this is a 1 CP stratagem. Pretty nice. And +1 strength, +1 AP. Non-character is a little weird, but like a lot of your stuff, like your Khorne Berserkers are not characters for the most part.
No, you can have a character lead them, but here, what this might be, honestly, is like you probably still going to take Angron, even though Angron can't be a Vessel of Wrath. And Angron can just be like, you 5-man squad that's there to skirmish, right?
Yeah.
Get strength 6 again, like the world Warband had. And then you get +1 AP, which is huge, right? 6-2-1 is a lot better. And then they reroll
Khorne
hits.
Berserkers appreciate this.
Yeah, Khorne Berserkers appreciate this a lot. Jackals appreciate this as well, because Jackals suck in combat. They definitely have some work they need to do, and +1 strength, +1 AP helps. Overshadowed by None. In the fight phase, you pick an infantry, mounted, or demon prince unit that has not been selected to fight. And then every time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets a monster or vehicle unit, you can reroll the wound roll.
This is awesome.
This is the payoff in combat. Overshadowed by None. It is a stratagem that is overshadowed by None.
Reroll wounds, crazy stratagem. You're just not going to fail damage checks for most things at all, and works on World Eater's infantry, mounted, or demon prince. I'm sorry, is that every data sheet you have?
Yeah, not Angron, but they could have just said non-Angron.
Yeah, it won't work on like Mauler Fiends either, but like whatever, it works on the stuff you want.
Yeah, for sure. If you're targeting monsters or vehicles, reroll wounds is the business.
Yeah, this is a great strat. This makes me feel like this is a legitimate detachment, just because you no longer are like anemic world leaders. You are actually scary world leaders again.
Yes, yeah. All right, Gory Dedication. Fight phase, just after a World Eater's unit from your army has fought. If one or more enemy models were destroyed, You pick an objective marker you control that your unit is in range of, and you sticky it.
That is awesome.
Yes.
That is really good. Sticky objectives for a combat army, great. Get shot off, don't care.
I think the best stratagem in the Berserker Warband is sticky when you die.
I could see it.
Yeah. It seems a bit weird, but it is what enables the play pattern of your opponent having to come to you, is that when you throw out Spawn or Jackals or something, or 5 Berserkers onto a center objective and your opponent shoots them to death, they still have to bring something forward onto that objective because they'll just sticky it. This is the same thing. If you run onto an objective and you murder an enemy unit there, which you'll do a lot of the time, like 10 Kroot on an objective, 5 Khorne Berserkers are going to go rah, blah, 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 and beat the crap out of them. And then you sticky the objective. Now they can't just sit back and pick you off. They have to come to you.
Absolutely. It's super important for this army's play patterns, and I'm glad to see it kind of ported over in its own unique way.
Absolutely. All right. We've got Punish the Craven. 1 CP in your opponent's movement phase, just after an enemy unit is selected to fall back. You pick an infantry or Demon Prince unit in your army that's in engagement range of that unit. And when their unit falls back, all models in that enemy unit must take a Desperate Escape test. And if they are within range of a Vessel of Wrath unit, -1 to those checks.
That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty good.
When you take a Desperate Escape at -1, you die on a 1, 2, or 3.
Correct.
Half of your unit dies for leaving combat with 8 bound, or you can choose to stay in combat with 8 bound, and 100% of your unit will die.
Yeah, that's it's pretty gnarly. So you have to be very careful here as your opponent of getting tagged, because A, you might not be able to fall back because Exalted. And B, if you fall back, you might just take half the unit with you.
Talk about a lose-lose-lose situation for the
Yeah, there's a lot of losing going on for the opponent's army at that point.
These are some saucy strats, and I know that the last World Leaders Detachment had some amazing strats, and these are like real contenders for it.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Meet Force with Force. Your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has shot, you pick an infantry, mounted, or non-Angron. They're trying to tell you not to take Angron, and it will not work. That lost 1 or more wounds as a result of those attacks. Your unit can Blood Surge, and it's D6 inches. You can move in engage range, the same as a normal Blood Surge. If your unit is Khorne Berserkers or Vessel of Wrath, because Khorne Berserkers already have Blood Surge, you can reroll the D6 to determine how far your unit can move.
Nice. Okay, so like a rerollable Blood Surge that is not technically a Blood Surge.
No, it is. It's a Blood Surge.
Oh, it is
move.
called the Blood Surge. Okay,
It's a Blood
so
Surge
a rerollable Blood Surge move for like your Khorne Berserkers and Vessels, or like 8 bound get a Blood Surge.
Yes.
That's really annoying. Blood Surge is a great rule for this army.
Blood Surge is great, along with sticky objectives.
And it's right after the unit's been shot?
Yeah, it's a normal Blood Surge.
Nice. It's really good.
You just move D6, and then Vessel of Wrath and Khorne Berserkers get to reroll that D6 to make it more reliable or more unreliable for your opponent if they get to be in combo with you or not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Brazen Contempt, last stratagem, 1 CP. Your opponent's shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, you take a World Leaders unit from your army that was selected as one of the targets, and then if the strength of the attack is greater than the toughness characteristic of your unit, -1 to wound, or if you're a Vessel of Wrath, you just flat -1 to wound.
-1 to wound is a hell of a rule, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Toughness 6, 8 bound with -1 to wound, like, are actually incredibly annoying to kill.
Yeah, -1 to wound, even if strength is like 5, then you wound on 6s.
You actually have to shoot like las cannon anti-tank weaponry to even have a shot at killing it effectively.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to kill those units at that point in time. Now, this is only in shooting. So the -1 damage in combat of the Berserker Warband is better into combat, and then this is better into shooting. So it's interesting to see that, divergence there between the two detachments. So that's all the rules you got there.
It's a nice detachment.
It's a nice detachment. It's very interesting. I think it's pretty cool. My gut reaction is that I need to play with it to determine how strong it is, but I think that the Berserker Warband is so well tuned to a combat army that I think it's going to emerge ahead of Vessels of Wrath. But Vessels of Wrath is more reliable on the advance in charge. You don't have that, oops, I failed the advance in charge. Now 3 of your units can still get it. And that is definitely a big help. The enhancements in the strats are good. The strats are comparable to the Berserker Warband, probably a little bit worse. Berserker Warband has probably like the best strat suite in the game. It's very, very strong. This is a very good detachment. I'm very happy with it because it does combat in a different way. And that's kind of tough to do with World Leaders, right?
Yeah, as a person who doesn't really play much World Leaders but plays against them often, I kind of think that it's really cool that you have legitimately an alternate play style, makes the combat army feel like it can do different things, have different ways to play the army, while still being true to what it is. It is still World Leaders, it's still trying to kill you, but you have a different a different toolbox, if you will. And I think that's a really cool direction to go with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm excited to try it out. And we'll see how it works out. If you have any questions about this detachment, you can tag me in the World Leaders channel of our Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord, you can always become a member of our Discord with either a 3-day free trial or half off your first month with Grotmas 2024 down in the link below. And we can be working on it.
That's right. So if you're interested in more World Leaders content or just more Warhammer content, you can subscribe to the channel. We do a video every single day during this Grotmas festivities. You don't want to miss it. And we play stream games as well. So in the War Room, we're doing stream games with all of these different detachments where we teach you how to learn the game, become your best as well. You can subscribe with 50% off your first month, like what Jack was just saying, Grotmas 2024. Link in the description down below. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you later.
Bye-bye.